In this video, we're gonna be going over these 3 easy hooks that you can make today for your personal brand. But before we get into that, I just wanna let you know that my name is Torsten Roscoe and I create digital assets for short form content creators, just like you looking to improve your editing workflow. So if you would like to take your editing from 2 hours of editing to just 5 to 15 minutes top and get high quality videos just like these on the screen, go check out my editing assets in the link in the description. But now let's create these hooks. This is before we add all the effects for this first hook. Pavel is the. It's just a really simple personal branding. So definitely me talking, nothing really happens, and this is going to be our first hook we're going to be creating extremely quickly. Pavel is the ad master when it. The first thing we want to add to start off with this hook is to add that zoom out. As you can see when it comes in here, you can see that it has a really simple, just kind of quick zoom out that really gives us that really cool signature like pull that you wouldn't see unless you were actually behind the camera. But we don't really need to have another person when we can just do it in Premiere Pro. All you have to do is click into your project panel, right click, hit new item. There's an adjustment layer, click on that, just hit okay, whatever pop up. Drag your adjustment layer onto your clip. It's gonna look exactly like this. Make sure it's just around like, I would say 3 seconds. So if we just kind of go over here, I don't know if that's exactly 3 seconds. So I'm just gonna kind of eyeball it, but we'll see. Anyways, you wanna search up an effect called transform. So let's just search up transform. I already have my transform preset right here. It doesn't really matter. You guys don't have to have that. I'll show you in a second why I have my own, but it's going to be right here under just, it says transform. So drag and drop it onto your adjustment layer. And the reason why I have my own is just basically because when you come down here, you'll see this shutter angle box checked, and then you'll see this at 0. Essentially, if you uncheck that and make this at 360, it's going to allow you to already pre-made have motion blur to the transform effect. I can actually show you in a little bit what it looks like with the transform or shutter angle and then without it. So let's make our zoom really quick. So if we want that pull, that camera pull that we just saw, click on this stopwatch and then drag this keyframe just a few frames, just a little bit forward. It doesn't really matter, you'll be adjusting it. And then click this and make it 150. That's what I always like to do. And now, if we don't have the shutter angle on, so let's say you have this already like it is, it's gonna look like this. So there's not really any motion blur, but now when you turn that on, so crank this 360 and make sure this is unchecked, it'll look exactly like this. You can see there's a little bit of motion blur. We can just look at it one more time. You just saw there's motion blur. It looks absolutely amazing. And then what we also like to do, because it doesn't really have a nice pull, you can come over to the scale, hit this like arrow thing. That's the caret, that's what I like to call it. Highlight both of these, right click, and then hit ease in. And then grab this right one and crank that baby all the way to the left. So then we get this nice pull that's really quick, just like so. That's a little too quick, so what I like to do is just grab this right keyframe and pull it to the right. So now it looks like this. Just bring it out a little bit more. Perfect. Now that you brought it out more, we can add these really cool, like kind of fade up and everything. So now let's add these really cool text animations that you can see, this like text that comes up and everything. That's really cool and it's super easy to make. So let's just kind of come over to here, type out all of your typing so for my example, I'm just gonna do exactly what I say. So I have mine just in here already. You can see that it has the ad master. When I play this, you can see that nothing happens. It just pops up, and that's not what we wanna do. We want it to obviously fade up like it did in earlier. So all you have to do is basically go into each of these. So let's say I wanted this master on the bottom. So if I just get rid of these for you guys, we're gonna be focusing on this master, and all you wanna do to do that is search up again that transform. Use that exact same one that you used earlier. Make sure that the shutter angle is at 360, and all you wanna do is come up to the position, click on the stopwatch, and bring this a few frames forward, and then bring this downwards just like so. So now when you play this, it'll pop up like so. And again, you kind of want to do the exact same thing, is click this caret, make sure you click right and ease in, and then grab this right one and bring it all the way to the left. So now it looks like this. It's just super simple. And if you want to make it even like longer, you could go to the first frame, bring it down more. So now it looks like this. Just that super cool, amazing look. And then to get these all the exact same look, all you have to do is just right click, hit copy, come over to all of these other ones. So I'm just gonna highlight all of these, copy, paste. So it looks like this after you're done,
is the ad master,
which looks absolutely really cool and looks kind of the same like mine. And that's definitely okay. Next thing we go on to is this transition. You need to have your own transition for this. I don't own these transitions, so I don't sell them or I don't provide them to anyone because obviously I don't own them. But I do own these film borders and everything that we will be using, or you can guys go get these online if you want to, or if you want to save time and just get them right now and actually get not just this one, but that hook that you see and all the rest of these hooks. So as I go into this text titles, it'll be in my cinematic editing style preset pack. And what essentially it is you get film borders that you just saw right now, you get captions, you get these 6+ captions that look really cool cinematic, you get all these presets that we're gonna be using for the rest of this video, plus you get all of these hooks and text titles I'm gonna be showing you right now that we're gonna actually be using in this second hook. But for now, I'm just gonna show you quickly what you can use. And as I like scroll through here, all you have to do, you can see that all these are actually animated for you, so they don't need to really do your hook like we're doing right now. But if you don't want to spend money, I totally understand. That's okay for you, but I'm just kind of showing you what you're a little bit missing out. And you can actually get that exact same hook in this pack. And as I scroll in here, there's actually, I put in one of my risers too for my sound effect pack. All you have to do is basically just come into here and you can see it's already pre-made. You just copy this just like so. Drag and drop it onto wherever you want it. So let's just say I wanted it right now. I can delete this stuff, come over to here, bring it over here, and now boom, we already have it.
Pavel is the
and then boom, it already comes in for you, already pre-placed. All you really have to do is just kind of bring this down. If it's too big, you can obviously just click on here, go and resize it if you want. And the way to just go into here, so if you double click into this 11th text, you can see that all the things right here, all you have to do is just go to any of these. So for example, if I wanted to change this master, I can just double click and put like go, and then boom, now it already replaces it. So as I go back into these 3 easy hooks, you can see that it's already on there and it's still animated. So perfect. You no need to really do all this stuff yourself. You can do it in literally like we saw, freaking less than 5 minutes tops. So that's crazy. But for the rest of this hook, let's create this film borders. And all you have to do is, once again, if you found your film borders or you even created your own, that's cool. You can do that. They're pretty hard to create. That's why I created my own and I give them out, or I sell them to people. But now let's create this kind of filmic type look. And all you have to do is just kind of import my film borders, or if you already got your own and found them online, etc. But all I'm gonna do is just grab them really quick. Here are all the film borders. I'm pretty sure it's this one right here, the film border 1. So all I wanna do is just drag and drop it. You can see that it's not made for this type of footage, and that's because I'm running in 4K and these are made for 1920 by 1080, or the other way around, just less size. So all you have to do is just come over to scale, make it 200. It's perfect now. And when I zoom in here, you can see that it says change the blend mode to multiply. So come down to the opacity, hit this blend mode, go down to multiply wherever it is, click on it, and boom, you already have it. Or if you really wanted to, you could go into my presets packs. So the cinematic editing style presets, you can grab the cinematic overlay preset, drag and drop it, and boom, it already gives you it. Then we can just basically, all you have to do is add your B-roll like so, and then this is the final result you can get for that hook in a matter of just seconds.
Ad master when it comes to personal branding, so definitely go check him out.
That's crazy. Now let's move on to the second one that we can see right now as I play this.
Bro, business is going to be hard. It's not an easy road.
You can get those text titles that I just showed you, so they're right actually here in my cinematic editing style preset pack. It is the second one that you can see right here. You just kind of change everything you'd like, and it's also this one right here. But for now, let's create that hook. Again, make that exact same zoom out that you did before. So I'm just gonna come over here and drag and drop it just so then we don't waste time doing that again. If you need to, go back and rewatch the video. And for the second effects, it's basically the exact same thing, but instead this is kind of it's a fade in, as you can see in the first one. The second one drops down and fades in, and then those two in the middle fade in upwards, and then the bottom one fades out. That's really cool and simple to do. So all we have to do is come over to what I'm saying, type out what you're saying, and once you did that, it'll look like this. So it's gonna look like this if you didn't add any of the effects and you just kind of ready typed out your text.
Business is going to be
hard. It's just a simple, you know, pop up, bro, business is going to be hard. And the way that we can make these animations is to simply go into, let's say we want to do this bro first, so you can see it's right over here. And what I like to do is add a Gaussian blur. So search up Gaussian blur in your effects, and also search up, again, transform. And also if you want to add just a little spicier touch, you can add a noise effect. So as I play this, you can kind of see that there's this like really cool noise right here. It just moves slightly, but it gives it that just nice extra touch just to really stand out from everyone and create your own type of style. So that's a good example of what you can do to spice up your other things. So, but let's create this kind of effect that I made. So as I uncheck these, you can actually see that it comes in downwards and also unblurs. And all I basically did was I made a keyframe in the first one. So the first one's gonna start at 48 or 50, and then the second keyframe is gonna be at 0. And I made sure that these lined up with this reveal that I made. So for the position, all I did was I made a keyframe for the first one, I didn't touch it, and then for the second one, I just increased the values so then it would go downwards. And then I made sure that the opacity for this transform effect, and for the opacity, I made sure to have the fade in just aligned with the Gaussian blur. I made the first one 0, obviously, and then I clicked on the right one and saw exactly where the Gaussian blur was, made it 100 to the opacity, and then you get this animation that's really freaking cool. You can do that for all the rest of the effects. So all you have to do is, again, click on all of these, click on all of them by holding Shift or Command, right click, copy, paste it onto all of these, and then it'll look exactly like this once you're done. So it looks like this once you are done, these really nice fades or anything. But let's say you don't want to make this every single time, and I completely understand. That's why I always just come over to my cinematic editing style presets and I grab the one called slide down one. So I'll put it on the bro, I'll also put it on the business, and then I'll also put it on the is going. So is, and then going, and then I'll do the slide up with hard. So now it kind of looks like this, just these really cool type of style. All you have to do is obviously reorganize them like so. And now we get this really cool,
is
just
going to be hard.
super easy hook that you just already have it pre-made. And now let's go on to this, the second part of the hook, which is this part right here. You can see that they again have that nice, really quick fade in on the bottom. And then there's also a flicker effect on this easy. So what we can do is obviously make our own. So come over, I'm just gonna drag and drop this just so we can save time and see this, but I'm gonna actually go into here and look at how I created this flicker effect so you guys can make it too. For the fade in effects and the drop, obviously just recreate what you just saw earlier, but for this flicker effect, it's super easy and simple. All I did was just come over to my cinematic editing style preset, or you can make it your own, but I'll just show you really quick how easy and simple this is. I just come over to the cinematic flicker, drag and drop it, and then it gives us this really nice just flicker effect. And then if you want it longer, obviously you can just copy, come over to the right and paste it. But let's say you don't want to do any of that. If you want to create yourself, totally understand. Flickers are super easy and simple. You just come over to the first one, click on a keyframe, go like 2 frames forward or a frame forward, make this 0. Again, go like 2 frames or 1 frame forward, make it 100. Keep repeating that. So all I have to do now is kind of just copy it, go like, I'd say a frame forward or 2 frames forward, paste it. Once again, do the exact same thing, copy and paste it. And then you get this really slick flicker effect. Like, look how easy and simple that was. Again, you can just create these your own, or you can just go, you know, get the editing style preset. Not trying to sell anything, I'm just trying to help you guys save a bunch of time, because I know you guys don't have these assets and they would just be a super big help for you. And you're not only just helping your future, you're also helping me, so it's kind of win-win. And now let's just go on to this last hook that kind of spices this all together, and the main focus I want to look for is this bottom half of it. So as I play this, you can see that obviously it has that flicker effect, it has those fades that we already did, so all you have to do again is go and copy and paste those attributes, or you can just use the cinematic editing style presets. But the one I'm looking for is this really cool kind of Instagram logo that's blurred, and it kind of gives you that, it kind of gives you the feeling of the logo is like super close to the camera, so you can see like my fingers are blurred out right now. That's the effect that I tried to implant into this video, and it turned out extremely well. So for this, obviously, again, do the camera movement, do the fade ins, and then we're going to create this type of blur. Again, you can go into the text and titles. I'll just show you really quick. This hook will be in there. Everything is in it. The presets, everything, you get this, you get that, you get the film borders, etc. So go grab that in the link description. But to recreate this kind of fake camera blur, all I did was I searched up Gaussian blur. I turned the Gaussian blur up to about 92.6, like it is right now. And then I also added a lumetri color. And here's the part, if I click this off, you can see it's extremely distracting, and it doesn't look like my fingers, how you can see it's like not super duper distracting at all. And that's what you wanna add, is this really big part of it, which is just the lumetri color. And what I did is I came into the basic correction, and I came down to the exposure and also the highlights, and I decreased both of them and up the contrast. So you can either copy these settings or just mess around with all. Just make sure that it's darker, it's not distracting at all, but also it's just there and it looks cool. And I also did this with the last part with the 2025. Again, just use the lumetri color, use the Gaussian blur. They look absolutely amazing together. And if you want to learn more about this cinematic editing style, like presets, the film borders, everything about this style and about the pack, I have a full video breaking down exactly how I created one of these reels in full detail. So you can go click this video right over here and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.